everybody, it's Lewis here of Earth Song Community, this new project that I'm launching, a platform, a community where we share medicine, songs and prayers and chants and mantras from around the world with some explanations and translations and tutorials. Today we have Ayahuasca Ayni, a version of this I posted a few years back on YouTube, and there's been a few requests for a tutorial. So here it is, and just going to play part of it through so you get to hear it. Ayahuasca Ayni, Ayahuasca Ayahuasca Ayni, Ayahuasca Madrecita Ayni, Madrecita Naranay, 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 and so on. So Ayni is this concept of reciprocity, of seeing ourselves in all things, in other beings, in nature, in every single part of this reality. I'm seeing myself and giving thanks for all that is, because I see the divine in all things. So as we're singing Ayahuasca Ayni and Madrecita to the Great Mother, and Medicina to the medicine, Abuelita to the grandmother, Ayni, 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 I see myself in you, and I see the divinity in you, that divine reflection. It's a little bit different to the original. The original is a little bit more lullaby-ish. That's a word. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. So it's really simple. It's all that's in this is a A minor, a E minor, and a G. And that's it, just 3 chords in this. So the introduction / the Naranai kind of chorusy part, I guess, goes. So I start with a little hammer on. I often start my chords with a hammer on, just gives that extra little beat and that extra little bit of flavour and texture. And then I hit with the bass, so it's a hammer on, and then I hit my thumb on the 5th string. Down, up, up. So hammer on, bass. Down, up, up. And then we're gonna play around our little finger on the 2nd string here of the 3rd fret. So there's something that comes up a lot in these tutorials that I teach. I really enjoy the randomness and the variation of things. And I really encourage that in you as well, as a guitarist and as a musician in general, really. So it's quite difficult for me sometimes to put the exact finger patterns and the finger picking that I do, because it changes almost every time. There's subtle variations. So this one. So sometimes I won't put the little finger on. If I'm doing the down, up, I won't be using the little finger, and I'll be using this instead. So the one with the little finger. So it's a hammer on and a bass. Yeah, so I like these double plucks. So I've got the fourth finger and the middle finger on the second and the third string, and I've got that. I've got my pinky on the second string there of the third fret. I'm gonna play it twice with it on, and then once with it off, as opposed to. Just gives a little bit more oomph to it. So hammer on, bass. Yeah, so that's where we're up to. And then I'm going to stay with this double pluck. I do this a lot actually, and it just adds a bit more. So whenever I'm doing little hammer-ons or pull-offs or anything like that, I'm usually double plucking it. So this is going to be with the index finger on the second string in the first fret. I'm kind of playing them just after each other, as you do with the djembe. If anybody plays djembe, kind of where you play one just after the other, kind of adopted down to the guitar a little bit. Yeah, so instead of this, yeah, but that's it's not 100% necessary either. And all of this can be simplified, you know, and if you want to just play it with one string instead of the double, that's fine too. And I'll put an even simpler version at the end of this as well. So far we've got the hammer on. So we're gonna double pluck the second and the third string together, and we're gonna add our index finger on the second string of the first fret, and then we're gonna play that second string without the first finger fretted. Yeah. And there, for example, by accident, I played something on the first string. Bless. Did it on accident, sounded great. And maybe I'll do it on the next one to make it sound like I did it on purpose or something. And then I just make my way down. So I can either play the third string and then take it off and play it, or I can just play third and second. Yeah, so it's a nice little variation. One do once, do the other time. Or yeah, down to the E. I'll do a little hammer on as well. So basically we're just making our way down from the A minor to the E, down the E minor scale. And whether you pull off the fretted finger and play it like that, or you just make your way down, doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to play with a little bit of percussion. Yeah. Again, it's quite hard for me to kind of describe what I'm doing there. Just make my way down, and then on the E minor, I'm plucking the fifth and the fourth string together, and then play the bass quite soon after, and then a hit. So making my way down, together, bass, hit, and then I'm just kind of like filling the gaps. It doesn't really matter what you do, you just kind of like fill in the gaps. And then I do this little thing with my thumb. So it's 6, 5, 4. I've got the E minor on. 6, 5, 4. Back to 5, and then 5 again, but I've changed back to the A minor. Yeah. And you can kind of rest your palm here, or you can rest your fingers here. You can rest your fingers on the strings, play, you know, see what works best for you. I think it's probably better to be out. I've kind of grown into the habit of having my the top of my palm here, which kind of helps stabilize. I don't think it's the best habit actually. So we make our way up. So from the start. Variations, kind of just letting my fingers do their thing. I like these little variations, you know, so it's kind of the basic structure of it, and I really encourage some variation on it. And then this is you sing to so I've got the cap on the 3rd fret here. I used to play it on the 4th fret. Sometimes I play it on the 2nd. Kind of depends on the environment, the situation, how loud I need to sing, where my voice is at that particular time. It's on the 3rd fret at the moment, so. Fill in the gaps of the singing with a little. Love a little pause as well from time to time, and then. I also do a lot of this kind of kind of like a hammer on to a muted strum to another hammer on, and then for the chorus, for the verse, so we start usually go through 4 different words. So it's Ayahuasca Ayni, Madrecita Ayni, Medicina Ayni, and Abuelita Ayni. Yeah, so Ayahuasca, Madrecita to the mother, Medicina to the medicine, Abuelita to the grandmother. Ayni, that reciprocity. I often add different words in as well. Add in some Pachamama or Fuegocito or Jafecito, whatever is relevant in the moment, really. Let's just go with the original. So we'll go. So this is where the G comes in. So we start again on the A minor. Abuelita Ayni, Abuelita Curano. And then back to the E minor again. So in between each one, so it'll be A minor. Medicina Ayni, Medicina Curano. That's the E minor. So I keep that little like. It's kind of like a little phrase that runs through that bit of familiarity, and I keep it for the in-betweens as well. So the strumming pattern in this. So still with the hammer-ons, I do that a lot in this before the chords. So I do 1, 2, 3, hit. So I try to incorporate a bit of percussion in this as well. So I often let the first one hang, so it's kind of a hammer on, and then I just let it hang for a minute. And then come in with the hit / strum at the same time, so I'm kind of hitting and strumming at the same time. And then I'm just kind of doing just random stuff and just letting my fingers fill out the rest of the bar. That's how it might sound one time. that's how it might sound another time. Kind of just letting it flow like that. I've got this rhythm down, the hammer on, bass, a bit of percussion and the strum, and then just letting whatever my fingers want to do. Anyway, yeah, that's Ayahuasca Ayni. I go into a lot more detail about, there's a lot of new techniques there, and I appreciate that, and it's probably a bit more of an intermediate lesson. But you can make this as simple as you want, you know. You could Ayahuasca Ayni, Ayahuasca Kurano. You just give it a strum, you know, come up with a strumming pattern. Medicina Ayni, Medicina Kurano. Yeah, you can come up with a strumming pattern and a little bit, a couple of hammer on and hammer offs there, that'd be good too. Or a more simple picking pattern. Naranai, naranai, naranai. Without the melody part and the hammer on and the hammer offs going down, and make it as simple as you need to make it. And also, if you want to come back to some of these techniques, then they're here as well. I'll be making some other videos that will be specifically looking at some of the techniques we went over in this video. And if you want to go deeper into some of that learning, then join me on Patreon as well as the Earth Song community. Thanks.